Hello, friendoos. I'm offering a video today about breath work to get ourselves into our bodies because that's one of the most difficult things to do is to make time to take care of our bodies. And the way we get into our bodies is through breathing. So as you can see, I'm actually doing this breathing exercise sitting like this, which may be very difficult for some folks to do. So I encourage you to sit like this or sit in a chair. The important thing is to get reconnected with your breath so that you're in your body. Okay? There you go. So we're going to take an inhale. I welcome you to close your eyes because it sometimes makes it easier. When we're inhaling from our core, right here, all the way up the front of the body. And imagine that we're filling up all our cells like a big balloon, all the way to the core, to the top of our bodies. That's the inhale, to the crown, right here. And then we're going to exhale down the back of our bodies, as if pushing out all the air. And that takes us right back into our core. We're going to breathe in again. I like to follow the breath with my eyes, even if my eyes are closed, all the way to the top. And exhale, and imagine the breath being squeezed out from the back. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And take a couple more breaths this way. As we're doing this, I'd like us to think about where we're feeling kind of some tension. I'm feeling them in my shoulders right here. So with the next inhale, I'm going to do some little body checks. The first one, as I'm breathing in from my core, I'm going to tuck in my butt. And that's going to allow me to roll up my shoulders back so that my shoulder blades are flat against the back. And then correct my chin 1 inch back, because we are constantly looking at our mobile devices, and so we have developed what is called a text chin. And we're going to just exhale everything out. Very nice. Couple more breaths. Very good. So we're going to stand up right now. You should be able to see my toes. Very nice. So first thing we're going to do is learn how to stand. Okay? How do we do this? All right. So basically, when they tell you to put your feet together, most people will put their toes together and their heels together. You know what happens? When you push yourself somewhere, you kind of lose balance. You see that? Timber. But if you keep your toes together and your heels slightly apart, okay, and you hit yourself, you'll be nice and strong. The other tendency when we are asked to stand together is we all of a sudden become like super rigid and we lock our knees. We should always keep a micro bend in our knees, okay? So if you notice some tightness in your knees, don't worry, you can take a little bend. See? This is me hyperlocked. I look like a goat. This is me with a nice bend. And I'm still straight. Okay. Toes together, heels slightly apart. Loose knees. Now we're going to do a breathing exercise, which allows us to take the breath from the core all the way up to our chest. We roll our shoulders back. We put our chin back 1 inch. We bring the breath down. And as it's going down the back of our legs, we're going to just make a note to make sure that our knees are nice and unlocked. Very nice. The other thing that we need to understand when we're taking a breath and allowing it to come down is that we're going to tuck in our butt. Usually, for example, from the side, we're kind of doing this or this. But what it does is that we're having this bend in our back. And the reason why you know that is when you tuck in your butt, you see a slight change, and then there's some lifting that's happening here, which means that it is allowing your back to relax. Shoulders rolled back. Move over here. Shoulders rolled back. Butt tucked in, knees nice and loose. See what the difference is? Nice. Okay, and knees loose. Very good. Excellent. The next thing we're going to learn is our stances. Okay, so do some walking in this new body, and then we're going to learn our stances. So this is standing posture where our toes are together, heels are slightly apart, knees are loose, butt is tucked in, shoulders roll back. Then we're going to pivot 45 degrees onto our big toes and drop our feet. That's hip width distance apart. See how we're measuring our hip width distance apart with our body? It's because everybody's hip width distance apart is measured to their bodies, and that's how you do that. Again, if our feet were to be together at this point, we want to make sure that the heels would also be slightly apart. So that takes a little bit of understanding, but just a little note in your body and you will understand what that means eventually, right? We can't understand everything immediately. Knees loose, butt tucked in, shoulders rolled back, chin 1 inch back. Very nice. We're going to inhale, up, and we're going to exhale and just drop our bodies down. 1 vertebra at a time, knees nice and loose. It's okay to bend your legs here. You're trying to reach the floor. Some of us won't be able to, and that's perfectly fine. We're just going to hang here. And we're going to breathe into our bellies, and we're going to feel all the tightness that's going to be happening at the back of our leg. It's not the greatest feeling. But when we breathe into our belly and fill everything up, you can notice that the pain is not as bad. And you might even be able to relax a little bit lower. Very nice. Breathing into our bellies. Everything hanging. Sometimes I shake my head like this to make sure I'm not holding tension. And exhale. Now, coming up might be tricky for people who are not used to doing this. So what I encourage you to do is hold your shin and almost like just walk up your body and make sure that as you're walking up, you're tucking in your butt. So just crunch your butt muscles and walk up slowly. Very nice. Not putting any pressure on your leg as you're walking it up. You're just using it as a support and kind of a nice massage. And you walk up. You can just keep massaging your body. And you roll your shoulders back. And now you're standing up again. Isn't that great? Excellent. And notice that hip width distance apart, when your feet are aligned, you're also not going anywhere. Now I'm going to show you the warrior stance, where you pivot 45 degrees, both feet onto your toes and back. When you tuck in your butt here, it becomes very obvious that you're looking for a fight. So we don't necessarily walk around like this, but just know if you're trying to scare somebody, this is how you do it. Excellent. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll make another video soon. Cheerio, cheerio.